Hello, Durud and Shalom. Hi. Oh, look at this. Leo is saying hello, Durud and Shalom. HTS. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Fantastic. Okay. All right, guys. I have no idea what we're walking into at all. I have no idea what this is. This is about Thomas Massie losing. This is fantastic. We dodged a bullet here. This is fantastic. See, we've been getting so many bad news with regards to US politics moving in the wrong direction. But here we might be getting some good news. By the way, I see already my favorite people are in the chat. Okay, fantastic. Love you guys. Awesome. You're already here. Everyone's already here. Okay, good. That means we can get started. Durut, durut. Okay, let's get started. Ooh, what am I doing? This one.
Republican Party more than
No, let's go to the beginning.
I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Galrein in Tel Aviv.
Three pro-Israeli billionaires poured record-breaking amounts of money into this tiny little district. If you don't think that $25 million is enough to sway 5,000 voters, just not living in political reality.
I'm sure Will Chambers is about to do exactly that. We are so used to lying and obfuscation and weasel words, as we often see from Will Chambers here.
Oh, get over yourself, Buckley.
Holy crap. Wow. Jets 115 gave 50 memberships in the chat. 50. Look at this. The entire chat is becoming members. Membership, guys, look, oh my god. Wow. Like, it just keeps going and going and going. Well, thank you so much, Jets 115. Wow, look at this. Oh my god. Everybody in the chat is becoming member. Unbelievable. Thank you. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Wow, look at this. Jets 115. Guys, everybody thank Jets 115 for gifting so many memberships. 50 people just became members. Oh, guys, if you want to get membership gifts, make sure you have to turn on that feature on your YouTube channel. Wow.
I don't think Massie would
have. Guys, please say thank you to Jets in the chat. Thank you. Oh, look at this. It's giving us a heart, he or she. Thank you.
One, if Israel had not spent $1.
When a mosque is attacked in the US, Republican politicians are silent. You can't find Democrats who do the same when there's a synagogue attack or anything equivalent.
Thomas Massie's bruising defeat last night was, according to most mainstream commentary, proof that President Trump remains in total control. He may be battered and bruised by the broken promises and the war in Iran, but he's still the kingpin and the kingmaker. Trump's takedown of Massie crystallizes his grip on the GOP, said USA Today. Thomas Massie's defeat tightens Trump's grip, said the New Republic. And so, word for word, did the BBC. The New York Times, mixing things up a bit, said Trump tightens his grasp on the GOP. The question they ought to be asking is, who is gripping or grasping President Trump? Pro-Israel donors and lobbyists spent at least $15 million on the campaign against Thomas Massie. It's the most expensive primary in U.S. history. Millions of dollars came from AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee.
Oh my
you might
God.
therefore assume that Massie...
There is lobbies on all sides. You goddamn... Oh my God. Guys, look at this. It's not even a few seconds into the show, and he's already blaming Israel. Like, he's already blaming Israel. Like, how many? We're 1 minute in. We're less than 2 minutes in, and already blaming Israel. Unbelievable.
Was a raving anti-Semite. He used his platform to trash Israel at every opportunity. But he didn't. In fact, until recently, he barely spoke about Israel at all. And that apparently was his main offense.
There's a foreign interest group called AIPAC that, got the ear of this current speaker and demanded 16 votes in April on Israel or the Middle East. We haven't had 16 votes in April on the United States in Congress. Ostensibly, it's a group of Americans who lobby on behalf of Israel. They're for anything Israel. And they're very effective.
The best way to be pro-American is to be pro-Israeli, because Israel is the best ally United States ever had. Like, they're for Israel for good reason. Guys, do you agree that it's pro-American to be pro-Israeli? Do you guys agree with that? Let me know in the chat. It's pro-American to be pro-Israeli. I mean, United States became as great of a country as it is partly because of its allies, because the global dominance that United States has is because of the relationship it has with other countries, and that's how it got that's how it managed to gain global dominance. Before United States, global dominance only came through imperialism. But United States model was, instead of forcing its way upon other countries, is to use its relationship and make it a consensual relationship rather than a forced relationship. And we, for the first time in history, for the first time in 10,000 years of civilization, we have a nation state that has a global dominance without being an empire. And you only do that by having so much economic, military, and cultural power that other countries just want to work with you without you having to force this upon them. They want this from you. So given that United States global dominance comes from its consensual relation with other countries, with other nation states, then among all of these nation states, which one has been the role model ally of United States? It has been Israel. The benefits of Israel to United States are just too many to count. So given that if any American understands how United States gets to be a great country globally, then they would look at all the countries that they have a relationship with and they would support the best ones. And the best one by a huge margin is Israel. By a huge margin. It is America first to be pro-Israeli. It is absolutely America first to be pro-Israeli. Do you see that logic? Let me know if that's understandable. Like, I basically connected the dots in a very effective way for you guys. So I hope you guys appreciate that.
Lobbying group. They get in there. They try to get me to write a white paper as a candidate, for instance, for Congress. They almost get
on what?
On Israel. Like, and I wouldn't do it. And they said, why? And I'm like, I don't do homework for lobbyists, right? I'm like, I didn't like writing term papers.
I don't do guys. Lobbying is not inherently a bad thing. Like these people are just trying to be populist by saying that, oh, I'm anti-lobby. Lobbying is actually very effective form of part of politics, right? You want the most successful leaders of industry within your nation, and also different groups that have managed to be successful enough to raise funds to have some adjusting influence on the politics of your country. So you have the populace, you have the voting populace that is voting to keep the, we need that. We need some level of democracy. Okay, but we also need the people who are successful enough to gather funds to have an adjusting influence on things that the average voter cannot calculate for the long-term benefits of your country, right? So lobbying could have a negative influence because you will have people with shit ideas also lobbying your government. But given that at the end of the day, the people who have more money get to lobby the government more, the people who have more money are on average countries and industries who have been more successful, so they have a better understanding of what works to make businesses work or make a society more prosperous, more than your average voter. So you want your voters to have an equalizing effect on the ballot box, but the ballot and the wallet have a self-correcting influence on each other. If it was only the ballot, then the average person within the population would not be informed enough in what is in the long term beneficial for your country. But if it was only the wallet, then you would have too much elitism, and the average voter would be completely ignored. So having the wallet and the ballot being influential in politics will have a self-correcting mechanism. Both of these will have self-correcting mechanism on each other, right? And at the end of the day, lobbying is just freedom of expression, right? So there is no way for you to stop people who are more successful from having a louder voice. And if you try to do that, you're basically just punishing success.
College, I'm not writing one for you.
Well, the campaign against Thomas Massie painted a grim picture of a scheming figure of dubious morals who went out of his way to make life difficult for Trump. In fact, he voted with the Republican Party more than 90% of the time. Massie is staunchly against expensive military interventions.
Oh, guys, we got our first super chat. First super chat of the day. I hope it gets counted, because sometimes there's a delay in the counter. Thank you so much, Sayed. Counted. What is wrong with the counter? Okay, we know this is number one. Sayed is saying, I was watching latest Nick Matu live stream from last night. He's great, but had to switch to here because Armin is greater. Javid Shah. Oh, thank you, Sayed. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you, Sayed. And Sayed, we have Juris Dr. Sosh. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you guys so much for the support. Okay, this is great, but I don't know why the counter. So guys, whenever the counter is not working, let's keep the count ourselves until it gets updated, So right now it says 0 out of 10, but when it comes to super chats, we're already at 1. Super stickers for some reason don't get counted, but we appreciate them as well.
Foreign aid, especially the Iran war. He's a leading critic of wasteful government spending and unmanageable debt. He's campaigned relentlessly for the total release of the Epstein files and for the prosecution of men whose crimes they exposed. In other words, his platform is a lot like the one that got Trump elected. So how did he become MAGA enemy number one? Well, it probably has something to do with statements like this.
The people who are funding the ballroom, the people who are funding the arch, the people who are funding the rebranding of the Kennedy Center, these are the people who are also funding my opponent. These are the people who have the ear of the president. These are the people who are dominating our foreign policy decisions. They're the billionaires. And these are also the same people who are in the Epstein files.
Oh my God, the fucking Epstein files. These Epstein guys, the Epstein files has become just an excuse to bring back all the anti-Jewish stereotypes and tropes. The Epstein files has been, first of all, oh no, the billionaires, the people who have managed to figure out how to be successful in making a society more prosperous. Oh no, we don't want their influence. We don't want their say in things. Oh no, keep them out of politics. And also the Epstein files. Yeah, the very thing that I predicted it was going to be exaggerated. The Epstein files just shows that Jeffrey Epstein was a scumbag. That's the only thing that it shows. And also, I don't know, his partner and the people he hired to find him girls. Basically, there's not much more that came out of that. Like, did we get any evidence ever that, I don't know, the elite, powerful billionaires in the world are all involved in this, I don't know, child sex operation? I mean, we already have those. It's called Islam and the Catholic Church. Why are you? I don't see you guys go after that. The Epstein file was just so much smaller than people make it out to be. None of these, there was no evidence for any of these politicians or billionaires actually being involved in Epstein file. There's like zero evidence. People are just making shit up, especially Trump. There's zero evidence that Trump was involved. In fact, the only involvement that we see from Trump in the Epstein files is that he was he was helping the FBI against Jeffrey Epstein. And people are like, oh, look, oh, his name is in there, so he must be, I don't know, sexually assaulting children just because his name is mentioned. No, his name is mentioned because he was helping with the case. Oh, also, oh, look at this, self-counting because, oh, it actually, the counter is working now. So the counter only counts the super chats, not the super stickers. So it says 2. It should say 3 right now because I saw a third one, but there's a delay in the counter. I don't know why YouTube sucks at this, but hopefully it fixes that. But we got another super chat, Agent Anderson, just saying 3, just because that's the third, super chat / super sticker that we got. And thank you so much for counting and for supporting. Okay, and then we have another one here, which guys, I don't know. Yeah, okay, this is 4. Thank you, CMD, for counting. But I don't know what does it say? Can somebody is Hebrew? I don't read Hebrew. Roy, thank you so much for the super chat. Can somebody translate? Let me just heart it first. I'm gonna heart all the super chats we've received so far. Anybody? Oh, it says you're saying testing. Oh, it says testing. Okay. Well, it worked. Wait, all of that says testing? That entire thing? Okay. Oh, he says, 1 2 test, 1 2 test. Okay, 1 2 test, 1 2 try. Okay. Thank you. No, don't say sorry. You supported us. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. All right, let's continue.
So a Massie gone, at least for now. It's very reasonable to ask what it all means for the future of a MAGA government in some turmoil. Has Trump tightened his grip on MAGA, or has the donor class tightened its grip on Trump? Joining me to debate all this is...
Oh, no, guys, unlike before, this is a new phenomenon, guys. Like, the donor class has tightened its grip on Trump. Look at this. Look at Piers Morgan's bullshit anti-Trump narrative. I mean, there are other things you could criticize President Trump on. Donor class. When have donors? By the way, the donor class just means successful people. Do you guys hate the rich in the chat? Let me know, because I don't. I fucking hate this anti-rich people mentality. Okay, I know a lot of people get jealous comparing their income to rich people income. But I hope the people in this chat are mature enough to understand that celebrating rich people in your society is a good thing, because you should be proud of having more rich people in your country, because it shows that your country is producing more goods and services at the lower price and a higher amount to other countries. And it's the rich people and their ingenuity and their creativity and their methods that is making your country more prosperous and rich. The donor class just means rich people who have figured out how to make things work. You need more of them in your country, even if you're not one of them. Right? I'm not one of them, but I understand. I could do simple math. If a society turns against its rich people, it's basically going to be punishing success. Yeah, exactly. Nara is saying everybody complains about the rich till they become rich. Hey, in case I become rich one day, let it be on record that I was not anti-rich when I wasn't rich. I mean, everybody is rich if you compare them to someone else, technically. Well, almost everybody.
Will Chamberlain, Senior Counsel of the Article 3 Project.
Yeah, exactly. This is a good summary, Bill. It's... No, where is it? Doug is saying they aren't all Soros. Exactly. Yes, and also Bill is also right. It's just jealous, bitter people. Exactly. And they have these names for them, the donor class. Yeah, guys, let me tell you something. If I manage to get rich enough to have a lot of funds, I'm going to use it to influence politics as well. I'm going to be one of these so-called donor class. Why wouldn't I? Do you not? In fact, you should want rich people to be part of the donor class. Like, guys, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you're a rich person that doesn't get involved in politics, they're like, oh, look at this. He just got rich and he doesn't give a shit about how the rest of us are living. But then if you are rich and then care about politics, how do you demonstrate your care for politics? You use the money that you have to try to support the values and the politicians that you care about. And then all of a sudden, if you do that, you're like, okay, the donor class. Fuck you. Why are you influencing politics? Well, because they care and they can. I would if I can. If I could, I would. Why wouldn't I? If I have a lot of extra cash and I care about where society is going, I would go, for example, support the politicians that are trying to stop mass migration. I would donate to them. I would be the donor class. Why not? Oh no, this garbage person. Wow, oh my God. We're going to get the worst takes now.
Greenwald tightened his grip on MAGA, or has the donor class tightened its grip on Trump? Joining me to debate all this is Will Chamberlain, Senior Counsel of the Article 3 Project, Glenn Greenwald, the host of System Update, Clay Travis, founder of Outkick, and Buckley Carlson, the former Republican strategist and speechwriter. Well, welcome to all of you. Any Arsenal fans amongst you before we get anywhere?
Sure, I'll be an Arsenal fan today.
Thank you, Will Chamberlain. In that case, you're going to get an easier ride than normal. For American viewers who are a little mystified by what an Arsenal is, if it doesn't involve the US military, I can tell you it's my football team. I'm not going to use the word soccer in one of my own shows. And we've just won the Premier League for the first time in 22 years, which has made me the happiest human being on God's earth. And on that positive note, I now expect you very quickly to be tearing each other from.
Get on with it.
Glenn Greenwald, it's an interesting scenario, this, involving Thomas Massie and indeed other people who appear to have been crunched in this primary race by Trump's political fist. And yet at the same time, you see a lot of the conservative right at war with each other. So what are you reading into the sort of overall picture here about what's going on?
Oh, I've been interviewing Thomas Massie for years prior to October 7th, when he was really not talking much about Israel at all, applying, though, the same exact principles, applying to other issues as he's now applying to Israel, including being one of the leading opponents, for example, of the Biden administration's policy of financing the war in Ukraine on exactly the same grounds. He opposes U.S. financing of the Israeli military and the Israeli wars, which is...
And he lost. He lost. Guys, isn't that great news? The fact that Thomas Massie lost shows that this whole anti-war, anti-supporting Ukraine, anti-supporting Israeli narrative is not as popular as people like Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Nick Fuentes want to make you believe. Right? Like, you would think that if this is a priority for Americans to be like, oh, stop supporting Israel, Thomas Massie would have won so easily. This is great news.
People in Israel are doing extremely well. Ukraine is not our government's obligations. American citizens are. Our towns are falling apart. People don't go to college. They can't afford healthcare for their kids. The most basic things that a
decent... Oh, look at this. Nara has a great point. Turns out... Great summary, Nara. Turns out Pakistani bots can't vote. That's the problem. That's their problem. Exactly.
The country provides for their citizens, and yet we're spending billions of dollars on countries like Israel, where millions of people have higher standards of living in that country than they do here in the United States. He's been the leading cause or advocate of privacy rights and opposed to domestic spying. So he's always been somebody who's been a leading advocate of many of the principles, including, by the way, free speech that the MAGA movement claimed before Trump got back into power again, that were most important to them. He aligned perfectly with it. The difference, though, is that he became an outspoken opponent of the U.S. relationship with Israel after October 7th, when the U.S. started spending not just $4 billion a year on Israel, but 20 and 25 billion, and however you count.
That's it? Only 20 billion? What the hell, man? Get those numbers up. Israel is saving Israel is saving the United States in trillions of dollars. And so think about it, trillions of dollars, and you're only spending $20 billion on that relation. First of all, by the way, that's a lie, because a lot of it is just the United States doing its own thing. But whatever, I mean, it should be at least $100 billion. Even if it's $100 billion, you're getting 10x. You're getting 10x back. The return on investment when it comes. And by the way, it's not supporting Israel. It's basically supporting your relation. It's building the relation you have with Israel. A lot of people act like this is charity. This is not charity. This is this is investment. You're investing not in Israel, you're investing in your relation with Israel. And Israel is investing in their relationship with you. This is a mutual win-win, working with each other. This is two allies working with each other. So guys, for example, if me and you want to go start a cafe, okay, and I put $10,000 down and you put $10,000 down, nobody will come and say, oh, Armin supported, let's say Nara. Let's say Nara and I want to start a cafe with each other and then become business partners. Let's say Nara puts $10,000 and I put $10,000 to start this cafe. If you come and tell me like, oh, Armin is supporting Nara with $10,000, like, that's a weird way of describing it. Like, we both put $10,000. This is a partnership. This is a partnership. This is not me giving charity to Nara to start a cafe. This is me putting 10,000 down and she putting 10,000 down, and we have a mutual and agreement, and we're working towards a mutual goal that we have. Oh, look, Nara is. See, Nara, I knew that about you. I just knew. See, I read her mind. Nara saying, I want to start a cafe. There you go.
Far more than that in the wake of all the wars that Israel was involved with. And because of that, obviously, Trump was a major factor. But the real difference in this race was that three pro-Israeli billionaires, led by Miriam Adelson, who Trump himself said is more loyal to Israel than she is to the United States, spent most of her life as an Israeli, was in the IDF, poured insane amounts of money, record-breaking amounts of money into this tiny little district where all you need is 50,000 votes to win. And if you don't think...
Oh, boo, boo. We lost. It was unfair that we lost. If it was that easy, why didn't you do it? Or like, oh, it was so easy for them to get 50,000 votes because poured money in there. If it was that easy, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do the same thing? You didn't have the money? Well, why didn't you have the money? Are your supporters less successful than the other person's supporters? Guys, people who have more money, it means that they're more successful. So you just basically, your supporters are losers. Your supporters are losers, or you're a loser. You couldn't get the funds to support your campaign. That's how politics works, and you lost. Stop crying about it. Like, they're blaming the way the game is played instead of blaming themselves. You just suck. You just suck. You lose. Okay. They keep blaming the rules of the game whenever they end up being defeated. Guys, if you win, they always credit it to themselves. But if they lose, they always just blame the game instead.
I think that $25 million is enough to sway 5,000 voters, which was the difference in the race, from one side to the other. You're just not living in political reality. We saw AIPAC do that last year. In 2024, they broke their own record. This year, they did it to Cori Bush and Jamal Bowman, put $15 million.
AIPAC is an American institution. It's an American organization. It's an American lobby. Okay, I know. By the way, I don't care if you're a Jew, but I know you're a anti-Jewish racist, even if you are a Jew. Okay, being a Jew doesn't stop you from being racist against Jews. Okay, I know you're a fucking racist, anti-Jewish racist that considers AIPAC to be a foreign lobby just because they're Jewish. And you fail to remind your audience all the time that these are American Jews. And American Jews have every fucking right to influence the politics of America. They have every fucking right. These are Jewish Americans. They are Americans. They're like, oh, AIPAC influenced the yeah. Oh, AIPAC did this, AIPAC did that. Good. These are American citizens who care about politics, and they're trying to move it in the right direction. In fact, AIPAC has too little money compared to how important it is. AIPAC is on the right side of history, and unfortunately, it's a very small lobby. Unfortunately, AIPAC is a very small lobby. AIPAC should be so much bigger than it is right now. And people criticizing it, fuck them. Fuck them, because they don't criticize other lobbies, especially American lobbies. They don't even criticize Chinese, Russian, Saudi Arabian, Qatari, and Islamic Republic lobbies inside America. They don't criticize them. But AIPAC is not even a foreign lobby. AIPAC is completely funded by Jewish Americans. But because they're Jewish, all of a sudden it's foreign. Basically, by claiming that AIPAC is an Israeli lobby, what you're doing is saying that Israeli Jewish Americans are not really Americans. You are saying Jewish Americans are not really Americans. You're saying they have dual loyalty and they don't want the best for America. But what's actually happening is that these are Americans who have correctly realized that it benefits both Israel and America for them to keep working with each other. For this is a very important alliance that we have in this world, and the stronger it gets, it's better for America, it's better for Israel, and it's also better for the whole world. And they're moving American politics in the right direction, and they have every fucking right to. And you criticizing them is only because they're Jewish. It's only because they're Jewish. Even if you're a Jew, again, I don't care if you're a Jew. You're criticizing AIPAC, accusing them of being Israel first because these are Jewish Americans, as if Americans, Jews don't have the right, the same right that every other American has the right to try to influence the politics of the United States in the direction that they think is best. And that right is also there for Jewish Americans. But no, if Jewish Americans get together and make a lobby, all of a sudden is treason or demonic or I don't know fucking what. Or it's like Israel first.
In both of those primary races, that is a massive story.
Let me know if you agree with what I'm saying here, okay? Lobbying is just people you got, every single one of you has a right now to donate whatever money you want to your favorite politician. That's number one. Imagine if we got together and we decide that we want to put our money together and support a politician that we like. That becomes a lobby, right? If I individually am allowed to give $5 to my favorite politician, then if 10,000 of us get together and decide that we want to put $50,000 to give to our favorite politicians, we're essentially now a lobby. If the first one is allowed, the second one is also allowed. If the second one is allowed for citizens of a country, then it should also be allowed for Jewish Americans. That's AIPAC. That's all that it is. And if you have a problem with that, you're just a fucking bigot. You're just an anti-Jewish bigot.
Put $15 million in both of those primary races. That is a massive story that people who Trump himself says have either primary loyalty or at least equal loyalty to a foreign country are overriding what polling shows are people's opposition to Israel, to the war in Iran, and just drowning our politics in enormous amounts of unlimited money in service of this foreign country. And not saying Trump wasn't a major role. Obviously he was. He has a huge grip on especially Republican primary voters. But if you deny that that was at least as big of a factor, then you're just insulting the intelligence of anybody listening.
Well, Will
I'm sure
Chamberlain.
Will's about to do that.
Sorry, Buckley, what was that?
I was going to say, I'm sure Will Chambers is about to do exactly that.
I'm about to ask him to do exactly that.
Travis.
I was going to preface it. Or I was going to preface it by saying that.
Where do these fuckers bring up these points against other lobby groups in the United States that are actually from foreign countries? Like, I don't know. I'm just asking. Like, do they basically raise their voice when it comes to Qatari money, Saudi money, UAE money, Chinese money? I mean, for crying out loud, the Islamic Republic in Iran has a lobby group in Washington, D.C. It's called NIAC. And that's illegal. That violates U.S.'s own laws. AIPAC is American. NIAC is from the enemy of United States. Israel is United States allies. NIAC is the lobby group of America's enemy. NIAC is a lobby group of a state that has killed more Americans than any other state ever. Do they talk about NIAC? Have these people talked about NIAC? Yeah, exactly. See, another thing I was going to say, and none of these people even mention NIAC, not a single one of them. A lobby group, look at this, guys, compare this. An American, AIPAC is an American, not Israeli, an American lobby group by Jewish Americans that is supporting America's relationship with the country of Israel, that is the best U.S. ally there ever was and could have ever been. And these people constantly attack AIPAC. But NIAC, on the other hand, is a foreign, but not just foreign, it's a lobby group of a regime that is the enemy of the United States in Washington, D.C., and these people never fucking even mention it. If that doesn't demonstrate anti-Jewish bias, I don't know what does. I don't know what does. Have they ever mentioned it? Have they ever mentioned it? Yes, CMD is saying, I thought NIAC was illegal. It should be. It's not. They're still there.
Before we came on air with this show, Donald Trump has gone public about a growing sense that people are getting that it's Israel trying to call the shots in Iran, that they forced him into the war in the first place, that they don't want it to end. They think that America should re-engage in the military strikes and so on. And Donald Trump's reacting pretty forcefully. Let's take a listen.
What have you said to Prime Minister Netanyahu about Iran and how long to hold off on strike?
Fine, he'll do wait, guys, we got a super chat. So we got our 6th super chat. Is it counting? Okay, 4th super chat. Thank you so much, Sherry. Sherry, thank you. Okay, let's see. Yes, in US we have PACs. I had one here, GA 20 years ago. See, it's just a normal part of US politics. It's a normal part of every country's politics. And thank you, Sherry. Thank you for the super chat. We're at number 4 now. We're trying to get to 10 super chats.
Said to Prime Minister Netanyahu about Iran and how long to hold off on strike?
He's fine. He'll do whatever I want him to do. He's a very, very good man.
Oh, sorry, that's Georgia.
I want him to do, and
the GA was Georgia. Okay, Georgia. Thank you, Georgia. 20 here in Georgia 20 years ago. Yeah, sorry, guys. I'm not American. Sometimes I read these wrong. Sorry, Georgia. People are correcting me. Georgia. Okay, guys, you need to speak international. Okay. We're not Americans. We're not into, yeah.
He's a great guy. To me, he's a great guy. Don't forget, he was a wartime prime minister, and he's not treated right in Israel, in my opinion. I'm right now at 99% in Israel. I could run for prime minister, so maybe after I do this, I'll go to Israel, run for prime minister. I had a poll this morning. I'm 99%, so that's good. But no, he's a wartime prime minister, and I just don't think they treat him well.
Mr. President, what do you do?
I think they have a president over there that treats him very poorly.
So a lot to unpack there, Will, not least the idea of Prime Minister Donald Trump of Israel. Well, we'll watch that development with interest. But this central point around Thomas Massie, which I find really fascinating, is that pretty much everything he stands for, and we'll park the Israel part of this to one side for a moment, but pretty much everything else, as Glenn articulated, would be the kind of stuff that Trump campaigned on when he got re-elected. I mean, it was, I'm not going to meddle in foreign wars, particularly in the Middle East. I'm going to take care of cost of living, America first.
Well, actually, no, Piers Morgan, to be fair to President Trump, he said, I'm not going to start any new wars in the Middle East. And he didn't. President Trump did not start any new wars in the Middle East. When it comes to the Islamic regime in Iran, he's trying to end a war that started 47 years ago. So there's no contradiction in between what President Trump said about wars in the Middle East and what he's doing right now. In fact, if anything, it's completely in line with what he said. It's completely in line with what he said, because he's trying to end a 47-year war that was declared by the Islamic regime in Iran against the United States 47 years ago, and no other president had the balls to try to stop it. And he has. Yeah, people miss that fact. Exactly.
First, et cetera, et cetera. And people have looked at this and gone, well, you've done the complete opposite. And here's Thomas Massie, who's actually continued to stand by the positions that Trump was espousing as a candidate.
Guys, look at this. I became American. Oh, wow. Sherry is saying, Armin, I pronounce you an honorary not just I'm not just American. Okay. Well, guys, today, wow, I just became a citizen. What amazing. Okay. That's great. Woohoo! Thank you, Sherry. And that's our, I don't know what super chat. That's our, I think, 6th. Yeah, 6 super chat. The counter says 5. Maybe, yeah. Because guys, I know you guys are saying 6, but one of them was a super sticker. So I think we're at 5. And thank you, Sherry. Guys, that's amazing. Okay, Sherry, I will make you an honorary Iranian in return. Honorary Iranian in response. Okay, great. 7 is number 7. Okay, let's say 7. But the counter says 5 because you guys are counting super stickers and membership gifts, but the counter only counts super chats.
Leaving a lot of people a little bit mystified here about why Massie becomes the bogeyman if it doesn't involve his criticism of Israel. Because again, what Glenn said is correct. You can not be a conspiracy theorist to recount factually that there were millions and millions of dollars pumped in by, Israeli-friendly billionaires against Massie.
There's in every fucking election there are millions and millions of. That's the nature of political campaigns in the United States. Why is it that whenever Israel does it, you guys lose get offended, you lose your mind? And why is it that you guys complain only when Israel does it? In every fucking political campaign, money and donations are involved. Sore losers.
I see. And the only reason that could be, it seems to me, is because of his increasingly critical rhetoric about the Israeli government. What do you say?
Well, I think that's just simply mistaken. Remember.
By the way, I appreciate, I appreciate, by the way, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's just money. I mean, people have to, if you have enough support, financial donations will not be able to stop you from winning. Our financial donations have some influence, but they don't have all the influence. If you have massive support, you shouldn't have had any problem winning. And you lost. You're just complaining because you suck. Let's see what this guy says.
Reason that could be, it seems to me, is because of his increase.
Guys, if we ever become rich here at Liberty Politics, okay, if we end up Liberty Politics will become a political campaign strategy, a think tank, okay, and we will have a fund, and then we will strategize in a discussion group on which politicians to support. Okay, we'll become like AIPAC, but globally to support politicians. You know what we're gonna do if Liberty Politics ever blows up and becomes really big, and we have a lot of resources? Then our agenda will be to support liberty-minded, liberty-first politicians in every country. That's what would be our mission. Okay, so our discussion group here, if you look at our discussion group, okay, if this one day gets really big, you see that it says 4.5K members. If this ever gets to, I don't know, 50,000, right? then we will basically turn our discussion group into a think tank and a strategy base for strategy, and then we will raise funds, and globally we will look at where we could use the funds to support the causes and the politicians that have the highest influence on increasing liberty in the world. What do you guys think? Okay, that's what we would do. That's what we would turn our group here to. By the way, that group, if you want to go join that group, the link is in the description, is in the bio. It's also, you could scan that QR code at the top left to get there. Also, let me actually put a link in the chat as well now that we're talking about it, right? We could start our own Liberty Pack. Liberty Pack. Ooh, that sounds good. Yeah, exactly. Liberty Pack. And then we will make sure, yeah, that's what we would do. Oh, hey, Sherry, thank you so much, Sherry, for the super chat saying Armin and Goldie should have their own hot dog eating contest. I don't eat hot dog. It's not good for your health. But thank you for the super chat. Yes, you like the pack? Liberty Pack.
Critical rhetoric about the Israeli government. What do you say?
Well, I think that's just simply mistaken. Remember, Thomas Massie wasn't broke here. He had over $10 million of his own to spend, sourced from libertarians nationwide. So if he wanted to get his message out there, he easily did so. And the problem was that his message was schizophrenic. And it's not Israel, it's the big, beautiful bill. Remember, I mean, you POTUS this.
That's actually very true. Like Thomas Massie had a lot of donors. He actually bragged about it in his speech. He has a lot of donors. He had access to a lot of money as well. Like, oh, there's donors. Israel, like people, AIPAC is giving donations to the other side. You had so much donations as well.
And it's not Israel, it's the big, beautiful bill. Remember, I mean, you POTUS this statistic where you said 90% of the time he supported the Republican Party. That's a little bit misleading because the big, beautiful bill was the one bill last year that essentially contained the entirety of the president's agenda. And by voting against that, he voted against basically everything President Trump ran on. Massive increases in border security funding, funding for the wall, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, massive decreases in some discretionary spending. So it was the key part of his agenda, and he was the only Republican to vote against it. And so then you look at what was the message? You say pro-Israel donors spent, but what did they say to voters in Northern Kentucky? They replayed President Trump's rally where he endorsed Ed Galbraith, called Thomas Massie the worst congressperson in the history of the country, disloyal to him, disloyal to the party. And I don't think the voters of Northern Kentucky are stupid. They voted for the president by almost 2-1. They know what they wanted. They wanted a loyal representative, and they weren't getting that in Thomas Massie, and that's why he's not going to be in Congress starting in January.
Yeah. Oh my God, the AIPAC donated a lot of money to run ads showing people the truth. Wow. Oh no, what is the money be? Well, I mean, if the money is being sent to show people reality, the objective reality, that's money well spent. Do you guys agree?
Have they got the president they thought they were voting for in 2024?
Absolutely. They certainly think so. I mean, Thomas Massie had the opportunity to make the arguments about how, Trump was betraying his base. He wasn't making those arguments at all. Towards the end, he was making arguments about how me and Donald Trump have a lot of work to do still together, which is ironic because a few months earlier, he was talking about how the Trump administration was the Epstein administration. That's the schizophrenia I'm talking about. He couldn't decide whether he needed to be pro-Trump to appeal to the voters in that district who liked Donald Trump, or against him because of these supposed betrayals. In reality, it was Thomas Massie hallucinating the president's platform into what he wanted to be, rather than looking at what it actually was.
Okay, Buckley Carlson.
Piers, can I just quickly ask Will
Sure.
a very quick question?
Sure.
Did the record-breaking amount of millions of dollars poured into this district in Kentucky by Miriam Adelson and 2 other Israel-centric billionaires, was that a significant factor in your view in Thomas Massie's defeat after?
Yeah, a significant factor in money spent on ads showing people the truth? Sure. And that's a good thing. Why should we be against that?
12 years in Congress?
Of course, it was a significant factor, but that money probably would have been there regardless, because President Trump had made Thomas Massie his target number one. So he would have found donors to spend that money in any event.
But that money is a good thing. It is good. It's good. We should appreciate these donors, these billionaire donors, spending money on showing the voters what the fuck is happening. Thank you. Like, what is it? Like, oh, like, is it? You can't have it both ways. You can't have it saying billionaires don't care about the society. They just want to take all the money and then just, not care about which way the politics is going and what's happening to people. And at the same time, the billionaires who are spending the money to make society better were like, oh no, the billionaires are have too much influence on society. Like, pick a lane. Like, which one do you want to complain about? You can't complain about both of these at the same fucking time.
Just that the pro-Israel donors were particularly.
Yeah, I appreciate people who are making so much money to use their money to make sure that the voter base is an informed voter base.
Number one. So he would have found donors to spend that money in any event. It's just that the pro-Israel donors were particularly happy to spend that money in this case, obviously, because they don't like Thomas Massie very much.
Okay, let me bring in Buckley on this. What do you make of what do you make of it, Buckley? In particular, do you think this is because of Israel, or do you think it's actually because he took on Trump, as Will just said, over the big beautiful bill, and that was pretty much all of Trump's agenda? And therefore, if you're going to do that, Trump would see that as a massively antagonistic, negative attack on what he wants to do, and so he decided to take him down.
I think Glenn made the case pretty convincingly with the data that he just presented here. I would just say I have a little bit different perspective in that we are so used to lying and obfuscation and weasel words, as we often see from Will Chambers here. But Donald Trump has clearly articulated exactly the way forward for the new MAGA coalition. He's straightforward and clear, as he was in that tape that he didn't show the whole clip, I don't believe, but he's talking now. He's acknowledged his donors are rich Israeli billionaires. He's acknowledged his base is actually in Israel. He's acknowledged.
Oh no, billionaires. Oh my God. What, guys, this anti-billionaire hate is fucking retarded. If you know what's good for your country, you would be proud of having more billionaires.
Clip, I don't believe, but he's talking now. He's acknowledged his donors are rich Israeli billionaires. He's acknowledged his
rich Israeli billionaires. Or you mean American Israeli billionaires? You forgot the American part, you fucking idiot. They're Americans. It doesn't matter that they are citizens of other countries. And a lot of the donors in the AIPAC are not Israeli. They're just Jews, but when American Jews. But who gives a fuck if they're Israeli citizens or not? Who gives a fuck if they're Jewish or not? They're American citizens. They have every fucking right to donate and change the politics of their country.
Base is actually in Israel. He's acknowledged he's pro-endless wars. He's acknowledged he's pro-surveillance.
He's not pro. Guys, how could he be pro-endless wars when they're supporting the war with the Islamic Republic? Which means that it's a war to end the war with the Islamic Republic. The people who want to reduce military tension with the Islamic Republic, they are pro-endless wars, because we already had an endless war with the Islamic Republic for 47 years. And when President Trump is trying to finish it, if you're trying to stop President Trump from finishing this endless 47-year war, you are the one who is pro-endless war, not the people allowing the Islamic regime to survive. Is being pro-endless war. Trying to get rid of the Islamic Republic means that you are against endless wars. It's the regime, it's the Islamic regime that causes more wars. This is very simple to understand. Let me know if in the chat if you agree with me.
He's against the Constitution. He's perfectly happy for Americans.
Who is this, by the way? Buckley?
To be miserable economically. He's perfectly happy to listen to purveyors of global misery like Miriam Adelson, which is totally consistent with the people in Thomas Massie's district who suffer from joblessness and drug addiction and depression. Now we get more of that. It's
wow, so he did a shit job then.
Kind of nice that Donald Trump made it very clear that there's going to be more disdain, more contempt, more drug addiction, more surveillance, more protection of pedophiles.
I mean, if it has been so much shit happening in that district, maybe it's time to change the politicians. I mean, maybe Thomas Massie hasn't been doing a good job.
More drug addiction, more surveillance, more protection of pedophiles. It's
more protection of pedophiles. You mean the Islamic regime that you guys are trying to protect?
Kind of nice to know your enemy. And I think if you talk to people in the base, in the grassroots of the Republican Party, you'll notice that a lot of people are actually leaving.
It's exactly this kind of talk, which is why Ed Galbraith is now going to be the representative from Kentucky. Exactly this kind of talk. Republican primary voters heard this message, and they
keep talking over me,
they said,
Donald Trump talked over his supporters. The people who put him in office, Will, the people who put him in office voted for a very clear agenda, absolutely articulated over an entire.
I mean, you can't be that correct if Thomas Massie lost. It means that you guys are full of shit. If there was this much popular support for what you guys are saying, Thomas Massie would have won, and no amount of donations would have been able to change that. Oh, Sherry, thank you so much, Sherry, for the super chat. We're at seven, guys. So we have 3 more to get to 10 super chats. And there, guys, the reason why we're counting the super chats per stream is because I've calculated what we need for these YouTube channels, so I could cancel my other businesses and focus on doing this, right? So if we get 10 super chats per live stream, then I could basically focus my attention on what we're doing here already on politics, right? So Sherry, thank you so much for the super chat saying, in USA, a PAC cannot take any foreign money, but my husband is doing some research on how liberty politics could create the vision you have, Armin. Oh my God. Hey, Sherry, that's great. Thank you so much for helping me out. Yes, that would be great if we could do that. You know, I think that's what we should be doing. So, Sherry, the vision I have is creating a group and an organization that basically looks globally, not just US, not Canada, not Israel, not just Iran, not just Zimbabwe, everywhere. And we try to fundraise for and figure out how we could get the highest bang for our buck when it comes to increasing liberty on a global basis. Like, where is it in the globe that on what we should spend our money that would have the highest impact in increasing liberty globally, right? That's what I'm trying. That's my vision. And I don't know how to make it happen, but we could figure this out as a community. And actually, maybe that's what I want to talk about in our discussion group today, which starts in about 3 hours. And guys, again, join our discussion group. So that's our strategy group. That's where all of this will happen, if it does happen. Okay. I'm going to put it in the chat, the link to it. And again, you could get to it by scanning the QR code as well. All right. So, and thank you, Sherry. That would be very helpful if you could help me figure out how to do all of this. Guys, isn't that a great vision, by the way? Look, like Torah is saying, that's cool. More freedom, baby. Yes, that would be the first of its kind, a global community where we get together and we'll figure out what button do we have to press where to have the highest jump in the level of liberty that we have globally. And we discuss it and we raise funds for it, and then we will spend it. Yeah. Okay. But it needs to be all legal. Okay. We need to figure out, like, legally how to make sure that we, don't get in trouble.
Decade. The people who voted for Thomas Massie in 24 are the same
and guys,
people.
And just to be clear, I think the way that I think about it, the greatest enemies of liberty worldwide are Islam, communism, the woke left, the woke right. Okay. And the greatest forces for liberty worldwide are United States, Israel, the Iranian people, and Ukraine, and Taiwan. What do you guys think? That's what I think. So again, let's look at it. The greatest enemies of liberty worldwide: Islam, communism, woke left, woke right. And the greatest defenders of liberty worldwide: United States, Israel, the Iranian people, Ukraine, Taiwan. What do you think about my list? Good? Okay, people are saying 100 in the chat. Yo, somebody's saying woke right. Woke right is like people like Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Thomas Massie. That's what I mean by woke right. Yes? Okay. I text saying I would agree with your list. Fantastic. Good. And oh, we got another. Okay, we got a super sticker. Thank you so much. That looks, I don't know how much that is. Is that looks like a big super sticker. I'm like, oh wow, that is a big super sticker. Well, thank you so much. That's like $100. Wow, guys, we got a crazy generous super sticker from Israel. Guys, we're more Zionist funded than AIPAC. Look at this. That's amazing. Proud to be supported from Israel. Wow. Thank you so much. That's very generous. Oh my God. Israelis love you. Oh yeah, they do. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Yes. Nara is saying more funds for our cafe. Thank you all. No, Nara, we have to. We'll first build our Liberty Pack, and then we do the cafe. We'll have a Liberty Cafe. Okay, we'll start a Liberty Cafe. But thank you guys. Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, see guys, we could do it. Okay, Liberty Politics could get there if we have support like this. We could make it. We could actually get to a point where we become a strong political movement globally. Wow, look at that. Thank you. I can't even pronounce your name, by the way. I can't pronounce your name. Yeah, you know what, Nara, if we ever get like really big, then we will have Liberty Cafes in every city, in every big city, like where people who are liberty-minded will gather and meet with each other and just chill with each other. So we will have like local hubs. We have Liberty Cafes in New York, in LA, in Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, in London, in Paris. And that would be like, you know, we do live streams here and we hang out together live on air. But then if we have Liberty Cafes, we could just meet face to face. Yeah, that would be nice. And thank you. Thank you for the super sticker. And Sarah saying, what we speak becomes the house we live in. Hafiz. Oh, wow. You're quoting Hafiz. Okay, guys, so we need to speak. These are our visions. We need to speak according to Hafiz. And thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, that's like, you know what, Sarah, that's the best quote for our discussion group. Okay, what we speak becomes the house we live in. That's the best quote for the discussion, for Liberty Politics discussion group. You know, we should put that quote somewhere in the about page, maybe. Okay, let's continue. And thank you again to this very generous super chat from Israel. Very kind. And please let me know, guys, how to pronounce his or her name.
Who voted for Trump in 24, and they wanted less government surveillance. They wanted actually justice for pedophiles. They didn't want foreign wars. They didn't want more economic.
You were right, Massie would have won, but he lost.
They don't want foreign interference in their country.
Yeah, that actually should be our tagline. More Zionist funded than most Zionist funded than AIPAC. Okay, that's our tagline. Liberty Politics. more Zionist funded than AIPAC. That's our tagline. Love it. Love it. And proudly so. And proudly so.
This for pedophiles. They didn't want foreign wars. They didn't want more
If you were
economic.
right, Massie would have won, but he lost.
They don't want foreign interference in their country or in their district. And it's an absolute shame, but it is refreshing that Donald Trump has articulated that clearly, as he did last week when he said he does not care about Americans. He doesn't think about Americans before he makes decisions that impact their economic lives. So the other great thing is, the only straightforward thing that Ed Gallerin, deep state boob Ed Gallerin, who was too afraid to actually debate Massie, too afraid to articulate any of his positions beyond actually having a draft. So people in Kentucky now who can't find jobs, young people who can't find jobs, it's great. They can just go into the military and fight Israel's wars for Miri Madelson, Paul Singer, and all the rest.
Okay, I want to bring in Clay. Clay, welcome back to Uncensored. First of all, I want to play...
Brad's go Arsenal.
Good man. I want to play a clip from Massie's concession speech and see what you think of this.
I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Gallerin in Tel Aviv.
I mean, I love how he demonstrates his anti-Israeli bias, which basically makes you a shit politician. You are bad for America if you're this anti-Israeli. You're obviously bad for America. So glad he lost. Guys, this is such a great progress for United States. One of the most I hope you guys could celebrate this moment. One of the most anti-Israeli politicians in United States just lost his job. This is a good day.
I did get to call through, though. I have called and conceded the race. We've been honorable the whole time, and we're going to stay that way.
So making a joke there, clearly that his opponent is completely in the thrall and control of Israel. Ben Shapiro thinks this is all complete nonsense, unsurprisingly. Let's take a look at what he said.
And the reality is that people who are pro-Israel do not like to...
Wait. I thought you guys said Ben Shapiro is now irrelevant. Why do you keep cutting in? What happened? I thought Ben Shapiro was done. And because of his pro-Israeli agenda, he has become completely... Didn't all of you celebrate his complete irrelevance now? And the fact that nobody, like you claiming that nobody cares about him anymore, like it seems like you still care about him if you keep cutting into what he has to say.
Surprisingly, let's take a look at what he said.
And the reality is that people who are pro-Israel do not like Thomas Massie because Thomas Massie has engaged in every conspiracy theory it is possible to engage in and has made common cause with the most anti-Israel people. That's true. But the reason that Thomas Massie is actually in trouble is because the Trump administration has decided to oppose him on the basis of completely other issues. And so the usual game that is now played right now on the right.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm an American voter, by the way, I love Ben Shapiro. If you're an American voter and the politician that is supposed to represent you keeps saying like Israel this, Israel that, is like, motherfucker, you like fix our issues. Like, why do you keep attacking? Like, what is it? These people, you know what happened? These people got fooled by social media trends. These people live on Twitter too much. Okay. And they saw on social media that anti-Israeli narratives are becoming more popular. So they miscalculated. They thought that if they jump on the bandwagon of being anti-Israelis, it will help their career and they become more popular. And it just didn't end up translating into votes the way that they thought it would, right? That's what happened. Yes, Simon, exactly. Because Americans are like, yeah, I have fix our problems. You know, they're like, it's interesting because the very people who are saying like, oh, why are you in Israel? Why are you supporting Israel? Fix our problems back here at home, ended up focusing so much on attacking Israel that their very base was like, why are you constantly talking about Israel, fix our problems at home. So they ended up becoming the thing that they were accusing other people of.
Completely other issues. And so the usual game that is now played right now on the right, in the very podcastistan right, the game that is played is there will be a critique that has nothing to do with Israel. And the first thing you do is you claim that it's about Israel in an attempt to gin up the crazier part of the Republican base.
Now, I would say, Clay, that the trouble with Ben Shapiro's position is, and it may be why his own empire is crumbling like Rome, and it's like,
oh yeah, his empire is crumbling, and you basically why the fuck you keep highlighting him then? Why do you keep talking about him? And guys, his Ben Shapiro's empire is not crumbling. You know how I know Ben Shapiro's empire is not crumbling? Because everybody is talking about Ben Shapiro's empire crumbling. Okay, the fact that this is news shows how big of a deal Ben Shapiro is. Other YouTubers and content creators, they go up and down all the time, and when they're going down, people don't talk about them. Whenever they lose viewership, they don't become headline news for losing viewership. You know, Ben Shapiro is influential, given that when he loses views, everybody talks about it. That's how you know that you're a big deal, because ups and downs are true for everybody that is in this business has ups and downs. But if people constantly talk about you when you have your down moments, that shows that you're actually a bit bigger deal than these other people. Oh, we got to 10 out of 10. We did it. We did it. There's a delay in the counter, but one of these days, it will count it. But we got to 10 super chats for America's Flag Original. Come on, counter. Why is the counter so late? But anyways, we know it, guys. In our hearts, we see the counter as 10. And thank you for America's Flag Original for getting us to the finish line. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Last few days is because he never accepts there is anything that could possibly be nefarious concerning anything to do with the Israeli government. And so I take what he says with a pinch of salt, and it is an undeniable fact.
Oh wait, isn't that like an appeal to popularity for arguments? Look at it.
That could possibly be with Ben Shapiro's position on this, and it may be why his own empire is crumbling like Rome in its last few days, is because he never accepts there is anything that could possibly be nefarious concerning anything to do with the Israeli government.
Bullshit. I have watched bull fucking shit. You fucking liar. You fucking piece of shit. I have watched Ben Shapiro. He has criticisms for Israeli politicians sometimes. He does. He disagrees. He disagrees with some of their positions. He does criticize Israel. I've seen him criticize Israel. It's not at all like there's nothing Israel could do wrong. That's fucking bullshit. I mean, I know from your anti-Israeli perspective, anybody who supports Israel is looks like they're supporting them in a way that they could do no wrong. But that's because you have gone so far to the extreme anti-Israeli that normal pro-Israeli people look like that to you. That's such a fucking lie. That's such a fucking lie. That's such an obvious lie. I remember seeing Ben Shapiro criticizing certain policies by certain politicians in Israel. Unbelievable.
And so I take what he says with a pinch of salt. And it is an undeniable fact that AIPAC and other pro-Israeli lobby groups put in over $9 million in a deliberate bid to unseat Massie. Now, I accept that two things can be true at once. That may be because they wanted to, and it may be...
And also, guys, I think that Ben Shapiro doesn't get a few things as well. Like, I'm not supporting Ben Shapiro 100% either. I think Nara is pointing something out that I don't know if I'm getting this right or not, but I haven't seen it. But Ben Shapiro has had some comments that are very wrong about Iran. Okay, it doesn't negate the fact that he has so many other correct positions, and that would just if he has said that, then okay, yeah, he's not going to get everything right. that would be very wrong about Iran. That is very wrong. Did he? Yeah, he said he has separatist views. Yes. Okay. So if Ben Shapiro has supported separatist movements to cut up Iran in pieces, then that's a very fucking retarded position that he has. I still stand by the fact that his positions on many other things are correct, but on that he's retarded if he has if he's making that argument. And again, I'm completely okay with saying somebody is fucking like really fucking wrong about something and then right about many other positions. I can see, yeah, he has a separatist views. Okay, well, fuck that. And Sarah, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, there you go. Sarah, 10 out of 10 because I like to win. LOL. Okay. For some reason, it finally counted. Guys, look at this. It says 11 out of 10. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? It never has gone to 11. It usually just ends at 10 and it stops counting. But because it counted, it was a delay in the count and it counted 2 at the same time. It now says 11. 11 out of 10. Yeah, you are 11, but you actually managed to finally make the counter see number 10 and 11 at the same time. And thank you for helping us get there. But Sarah, you actually have managed to get us to a situation for the first time. It actually shows us the number 11. Like we never had that before. Usually it just stops counting when we reach our goal. So this is the first. Oh, and you did it. Yeah, okay. Weird. What is happening? And thank you again for the super chat. There's a glitch here.
Totally unconnected with the fact that
yeah,
Trump wanted to.
Yeah, it's a tie between you two.
Get back at Massie for not backing his big, beautiful bill. But I don't think you have to be a massive conspiracy theorist to think there might be a link here.
There might be a link where? What the fuck are you saying?
Because they wanted to. And it may be totally unconnected with the fact that Trump wanted to get back at Massie for not backing his big, beautiful bill. But I don't think you have to be a massive conspiracy theorist to think there might be a link here. What are your thoughts?
I'll get into that.
There might be a link between Israel. Like, yeah, sure. Why? Who the fuck cares? Like, this is like, it's normal politics. Oh, like, what the? I mean, he's making a big deal out of this. Wait, Sherry just gave us a super chat saying that is the beauty of Liberty Politics discussion group. We're able to agree to disagree and have honest debate. Fantastic. Yes, guys, look at that. That's such a great endorsement of our Liberty Politics discussion group, which you all have to join because first of all, it's free to join. And today's group call is free. Today's group call is free to join. It's not premium or VIP members. It's for everybody. So you could come and join our group call for free. So the link is in the chat. And thank you, Sherry, for saying that. That makes me happy. Thank you. All right, let's go back here.
Piers, let me start with this. The people of Kentucky's 4th congressional district have agency. They can make choices.
Yes.
If Kamala Harris had been running against Thomas Massie and $1 billion had been spent on Kamala Harris in the 4th congressional district, she would have lost. Every lobbying group in America could have spent money on the wrong candidate in Kentucky's 4th congressional district, and it wouldn't have mattered, right? So ultimately, this race came down to a decision between two people. And the people of Kentucky's 4th congressional district, and by the way, all my family is from Kentucky before they moved down to Nashville to work in the DuPont factory here. All of my dad's family was from Kentucky. There's a lot of hardworking, tough people in Kentucky, and they went out and they listened to the arguments and they decided by 10 points that they thought Gowrine would represent them better than Massie and the interests that they had. Now, was Donald Trump a big part of that? Yes, because Donald Trump would still win the state of Kentucky by 20 plus points if we had a presidential election statewide right now. What this really came down to is Donald Trump is more popular in the Kentucky 4th Congressional District than Thomas Massie is. And whomever Trump decided he was going to endorse, I believe would have won. Just like happened in Indiana with the state senators, just like we saw happen in Louisiana with the Senate race, Trump is more popular in the South, I live in Nashville, than any elected official anywhere in the South. And so if Trump comes out and says, this is my guy or this is my gal, his supporters are going to go out and vote. I actually think.
Then why did they pour a record-breaking number of money?
Oh my God! Wait! Look at how he interrupts. Okay, shut up.
Now with the Senate race, Trump is more popular in the South, I live in Nashville, than any elected official anywhere in the South. And so if Trump comes out and says, this is my guy or this is my gal, his supporters are going to go out and vote. I actually think.
Then why did they pour a record-breaking number of money into Kentucky? Why did these billionaires pour a record-breaking amount of money into Kentucky? Are they just dumb? They don't realize what you realize.
Well, because we should use all the weapons that you have. Trump endorsements plus money on ads. Why not both? If it's guys, Thomas Massie is the most shit politician. One of the most shit politicians on the right. Okay, so it's important to get rid of him. So you shouldn't just rely on Trump endorsement. You should use every single fucking weapon that you have. Why not? Use all of it. What a fucking stupid question. Amir, thank you so much for the super chat saying celebrating Ali's channel getting released. Payande Ali Samani. Yes, let's go. Thank you, Amir. Thank you. Okay, yes.
They wasted it.
Let me just answer your question. Kamala spent $1 billion more in 2024 than President Trump's campaign did. If you talk to them, they believe if they'd had Kamala's money, they would have won in New Jersey and they would have won in Virginia. They won all 7 swing states. They spent money because in order to beat an incumbent, you have to make people aware that there is a challenger there. Everybody in the whole district knew Massie.
Yeah, exactly. You need to spend money to inform people. Okay, spreading information is not free. Okay, you need to make the voter base needs to be an aware voter base to make the best decisions, and making people aware costs money. Making people aware costs money. Just look at the education industry.
Already, there's a reason if you go to Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly. Texas is saying money spent was pretty even actually. What? I don't know what you mean. I think what you're saying is that it's money well spent.
That no Republican incumbent senator had lost before 2012. Name recognition matters. If you have a brand new candidate that nobody knows, you have to introduce them to the district. Massie had been elected.
You need three. You need Miriam Adelson.
I think this was not about Israel. This was not about Israel. This was about the fact
why was
that
Miriam
Donald Trump
Adelson involved? Why was Miriam Adelson involved? Why was she?
I mean, let it be about Israel. Why shouldn't it be about Israel? It's in the best interest of United States to get rid of fucking politicians that are retarded enough to be anti-Israeli. So yeah, let it be about Israel. Like if you don't appreciate how important U.S.-Israeli alliance is, then fuck you.
He's so involved. Why was her money so decisive?
There is a very small majority right now in the House. And the Trump team was frustrated because Massie, representing a rock-ribbed Trump district, was not supporting the primary agenda, the big, beautiful bill, trying to move on from the Epstein story. Has there been any benefit? He promised that there were going to be all these charges brought. And instead of being 100% behind President Trump.
I have this unpopular belief that the Epstein conspiracies were made to be so much bigger than they actually are. Like, do we actually have, like, if you go through the Epstein files, do you actually get any evidence that anybody other than Jeffrey Epstein and his partner were abusing children? There's like nothing else there. And also the co-conspirators were just finding kids for Jeffrey. Do you guys see anything else? It's just Jeffrey Epstein and his partner. I think the only reason why people have made this so much bigger than it is because he's Jewish and they could somehow connect it to Israel.
Agenda. Story. Has there been any benefit? He promised that there were going to be all these charges brought. And instead of being 100% behind President Trump's agenda, as the voters of Kentucky's 4th Congressional District have now shown that they want their representative to be, he decided that he wanted to fight President Trump. He has that right.
Marjorie Taylor Greene voted for the big beautiful bill. Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Hold on. I think it helps Thomas Massie to argue, oh, Israel's against me, instead of pointing out the truth, which is he wasn't
why would he think
enough
that?
of President Trump's agenda for the people of Kentucky.
Marjorie Taylor Greene voted for the big.
I like how this guy didn't allow him to get interrupted by this Greenwald guy. So it just kept on talking. That's what more people should do. He tried to interrupt him multiple times and he failed. And he didn't stop until he finished his point.
Marjorie Taylor Greene voted for the big beautiful bill. She was on Trump's side with every domestic policy issue that you just said Massie impeded.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is retarded. Like, why would you even bring her up? She's fucking retarded. Like, isn't this Jew lasers and space lady?
Her blasphemy was the same as
Trump is more popular in Marjorie. Did you listen to me?
I know you don't want this point. I know you don't want this point out. I know you don't want this point out. But no, because it's bullshit. Everything, this whole narrative is bullshit. This is all about.
Actually, Marjorie Taylor Greene proves his point because Trump was more popular than her in her district.
Anger at Massie because he voted against the big beautiful bill. He was at least as angry at Marjorie Taylor Greene, even though she voted for the big beautiful bill.
No, that's not his point. The point is that Thomas Massie's support dropped compared to Trump because of that bill, and it's for a different reason with Marjorie Taylor Greene. It doesn't have to always be about the big beautiful bill. His point is that in these areas, Trump is more popular than these people.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's not just Israel. It's not just Israel.
We don't.
Then why does every U.S. politician make code?
Well, actually, hang on. Don't talk over each other. Hang on one sec. Clay, on that last point. On that last point, I would take issue with that because there is some really shocking polling about Israel in America, which is that nearly 2/3 of Americans now have a negative view of Israel. So they're not.
Oh my God, Piers actually doesn't know how statistics works. So he said that most Americans are not obsessed with Israel. And Piers are like, well, actually, 2/3 of Americans have a negative view on Israel. So you fucking idiot. What you're saying does not negate what he said. Okay, so among the people who have an opinion of Israel, now in the United States, a majority are against Israel, which is something that we need to fix. True, but that doesn't negate the fact that most Americans are not obsessed with Israel. They care about other things. These two things can be true at the same time, Piers Morgan, right?
Not disengaged in the way that.
And I don't know what is that the actual number, because I don't know. I don't trust Piers Morgan on his stats. Maybe I should look it up.
That doesn't mean that Israel is the most important issue in America.
I didn't say the most important.
Yeah, well, okay, he said I didn't say that. Yes, you fucking did. By trying to act like this data point that you had negates what he said. You technically did say that.
Israel is in the top.
No, but it's the most important issue. Okay, but the most important issue. Okay, hang on. Okay, but the most important. Hang on one second, Buckley.
Piers just doesn't know how numbers works. I think he's like, oh my fucking.
I will come to all of you. The most important issue in America, according to polling, is cost of living, and there is a direct line between cost of living and Israel. Because if you believe the New York Times report
and the Iran war,
let me paint a picture for you.
Fucking idiots! Oh my God. the cost of containment of the Islamic Republic is far, far, far higher than the cost of getting rid of the Islamic Republic. Why are these people so stupid? Okay, Sherry, thank you. Sherry again with another super chat saying Marjorie was my representative. She did a great job of voting the way we wanted her to. We felt like she actually was representing us instead of DC, but yes, she was a tad nuts. I mean, yeah, I mean that's an understatement, but yeah, and she's like as anti-Israeli as they could get. But yeah, and thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that. She was yes, yes. That's a good summary.
Where
So now I understand the reason why she got elected was just because she just was voting based on what the people in that district wanted, and that's why she got elected until she became it became so apparent how cuckoo she is.
New York Times reporting.
And the Iran war.
Well,
and the Iran war.
Let me paint a picture for you, Clay, where there is a link, which is that the New York Times reported several weeks ago that it was Israel that basically persuaded Trump to go in on the strikes on Iran. The Iran war has become, I'm afraid, an increasing fiasco, mainly because of the situation with the Strait of Hormuz.
The Americans' war against the Islamic Republic has been one of the most successful military operations in history, in recorded history. Like, I don't know, like if you look at any other military operations in history, you have never seen this level of damage done to your enemy in such a short amount of time. So I don't know what the fuck this guy is talking about. Also, when it comes to cost of living, it's United States global military presence that has created the stability, the worldwide stability that makes maritime trade secure enough for it to be possible at this level globally, and the entire world is benefiting from it. And it is the level of maritime trade globally today that is responsible for the level of prosperity that we see in every country at a level that is unprecedented in the history of civilization. In a way that if we didn't have United States military presence globally, the cost of everything would be astronomically higher compared to what it is right now. So if you do care about a cost of living, you should be in favor of American military presence globally and America's strong relationship with its allies everywhere, which makes its presence globally possible. Without that relationship, United States wouldn't be able to have this much of a global presence, making trade possible at this level. And also, if you respect that, if you appreciate that, you should also then appreciate Israel as one of the most important allies of United States when it comes to destroying agents of chaos and bringing stability and making sure that United States global dominance is preserved in the Middle East. And you also would appreciate the fact that the Islamic Republic is the greatest agent of chaos and threat to stability and security globally, and that destroying it will bring more stability and security globally, especially when it comes to access to energy globally, which means that it will significantly reduce prices of goods and services globally. And you would also have to appreciate the fact that the strategy of containment when it comes to the Islamic Republic over many, many years is significantly more costly to the American taxpayer compared to the one-time big cost of getting rid of the Islamic Republic. Wow, that was actually a very effective summary of everything. We need to clip that part. That was pretty good. Guys, I'm actually impressed with the past few minutes of what I just said. We need to clip that summary. If you care about cost of living, then you should be supporting United States alliance with Israel, and you should also be supporting United States war on the Islamic Republic. Anyways, let me actually take a look at this, see what the numbers are. Okay, so according to the most recent Gallup polling data released in February 2026, 36% of Americans say they sympathize more with the Israelis, while 41% sympathize more with the Palestinians. Okay, so these are shit numbers. Like, this is bad. This shows that we have a lot of work, right? The remaining 23% sympathize with both, neither, or have no opinion. This marks a historic flip, as it is the first time in over 2 decades of Gallup's tracking that Israelis do not hold the lead in overall U.S. public sympathy. So we need to fight against that. We need to make the case for Israel in United States. It's important. It's important that we make that case. Yeah. Anyways, okay, guys, I need to actually go get ready for our next live stream. Again, wherever you're watching this, I will be live streaming it again here where you're watching on Liberty Politics or wherever else you're watching it. And also on Goldie's channel, we will be live streaming the Iran Revolution live, and that will be starting in 20 minutes. But also, don't forget that in about 2 hours, we have our group call. So come talk to me in our group call, and the link is in the chat. And today's group call is open to everybody. So come join the Liberty Politics discussion group and join the group call that starts in 2 hours. You could, once you join this group, you could either find the link to the next call on the homepage, or you could go to the calendar and just click here and see this is what's going to be starting pretty soon in 2 hours. And yeah, you could come talk to me and the rest of the people in the community there. And even when I'm not there, there are like really interesting discussions happening here. And eventually we're going to add more events. So what our plan is to add so many events to this calendar that at any point in the day, if you want to go and join and talk politics to a group of people, you could just jump in and talk politics in our Liberty Politics discussion group. Okay. All right. See you guys in about 20 minutes. I'm going to go get ready for that show. And until then, I'm Israel Chai. Oh, wait, we're adding a new line. Okay. Let's try this. Okay. I'm only going to do it when I'm not on Iran Revolution Live. I'm going to add another part to this. Okay. So we're going to say, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainian. So we're adding that. Let me know what you think in the comments about adding that. Okay. I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainian, Long live America, Javid Shah, Payande Iran. You like that? All right, guys. See you guys soon. Bye.